What did you like about the history of Mauritius?
Oh, I loved everything about the history. It's fascinating. It's so fascinating. And that is after one of my friends, Betty and Dion, they told us about Darlene Mathieu. Now, she's an Afrikaans writer. And that is the story of...
It was like a slave island. They kept
Yes.
they kept the prisoners there. If you were really bad,
then they expel you from Robben Island to Mauritius. Now that's we're going to Port Louis for a day to buy fabric or whatever, or art material. The hustle and the bustle of the people and the prices and the smells and the traffic and everything. And it's so busy. It's like little India. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then in the evening, you just walk from your house to the beach. And you sit there on the beach. And just watching the sunset. And
you could actually go,
and the quietness.
The quietness and just the lapping of the water against the boats.
Oh, my goodness.
The supermarkets was quite a surprise for us. Meat from New Zealand, fruit from South Africa.
And the cheeses.
The cheeses was something else. I remember the first time you had to bake something. You didn't know what kind of flour to use.
Yeah, it was difficult, but eventually I figured it out. And then I started baking. It was nice.
And remember the fresh papayas?
Oh, yes. It was always a competition between us and the birds and the, what you call it,
the Indian miners.
No, the Indian miners and the fruit bats.
And the fruit bats.
Who will be first at the papayas?
Yeah, once they start turning color, you've got to pluck them very quickly.
Very quickly, because otherwise the fruit bats will be there before
when they turn orange, it's gone.
It's too late.
The birds has got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the street food was something else.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Remember when we drove around and we bought those pineapples that was cut like a lolly, and then they sprinkle that chili salt on it.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. We loved buying that.
And it's so fresh and flavorful, pineapples.
And so we ended up making videos of the island, and we needed fresh material, so we would read up on the island. And it has a fascinating history, occupied by Dutch people, by the British, by the French. And all of them left their mark.
Yeah. The first that discovered Mauritius was the Portuguese.
Yeah. You're right, eh? You'll find Queen Victoria in Port Louis, a statue of her.
Yes.
Old places that we visited in Port Louis, those wooden houses, Chinatown, the cobbled streets made out of lava rock, Grand Port, where the Dutch landed.
Yes.
Where they started the colony.
That's right.
And that was the beginning of the demise of the dodo. That's another story for another video.
It was lovely. We made lovely food.
We did.
We did.
We learned to make new types of food.
New types of food.
Yeah.
Remember that soup? What is that soup that you liked so much with the lamb?
Halim.
Halim.
Halim. We loved Halim. And after staying in Grand River Southeast, we moved to Trubiche. House hunting in Trubiche.
That was a lovely house. I had my own little office where I did my needlework and my drawings and my book reading, a lovely sofa with a small library there. That was my attraction to that house.
And early in the mornings we would walk down to the beach. We found a lot of Mauritians swimming already.
That's right. They were buying the long French loaf breads at the supermarket, the small supermarket. it was really so nice, and we discovered all the bakeries. That was another.
We love the bread in Mauritius.
Yeah, fascinating.
Oh, wow. When you leave it to the next day, that bread becomes rock hard. Becomes like a stick. Remember? Because there's no preservatives in the bread. That was lovely. All the different breads that you could buy.
Yes.
And then
the croissants.
The croissants. But there we discovered the sourdough bread. Remember that round one that we sliced.
But what is it called? It's the antique bread. What did they say?
Yes. We love the l'ancienne.
Yes.
L'ancienne, which is actually translated as antique bread.
Yes.
That was the one that was made from sourdough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every morning we had a lovely breakfast, an English breakfast, but with French bread and French cheeses and preserves. Preserves from the island.
Preserves from the island.
Pineapple jam and...
Exactly. And then we bought fresh fish. The red romance. That
the
was
red
a lovely...
snapper.
It was a snapper or a romance?
Snapper, red snapper.
Was it a red snapper?
Yes.
Once it's cooked,
and then you grilled it on the barbecue.
On the barbecue.
Oh, my goodness, that was good.
That was so good, huh?
Oh, even our friends from South Africa that visited there, we made the one day that that red snapper.
Yeah.
And that was just finger-licking good.
Yeah. Roads are narrow. They ignore all the road signs. There's a white line in the road, but you can overtake. Even when a bus comes from the front.
Kamikaze drivers, the buses.
Yeah, the buses.
The bus drivers.
Wow, that's an experience taking a bus in Mauritius.
Yeah, it's like a disaster.
I would say a disaster. I would just say you need nerves of steel. Holding onto your seat when that bus driver just guns it down the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we had to unlearn some of our road usage. We had to unlearn a lot of the sort of driving skills that we were taught in South Africa. People were giving way to other people.
Yeah, otherwise you don't flow with the traffic.
You don't flow with the traffic.
You must just do as they did, and then you just carry on, and you stop where you want. Even if you're obstructing the road, you can
do you
just
remember
stop.
that? A guy would stop in the middle of the road because he would get fined for using his cell phone.
Yeah, so just stop there.
He stops in the middle of the road and then he talks on his cell phone. And you stop behind him and you see him talking on his cell phone. Then he puts the phone down and he drives on.
Yeah.
And remember when the guys would stop at some fruit stand or some vendor on the side, and they can go another 10 meters and get off the road, but they would stop right in the road, get out of their car, go and buy what they want from the fruit vendor,
Yes.
and then get back in their car.
Yes.
That's
Obstructing
Mauritius.
the traffic.
Just like that.
That's Mauritius.
That's Mauritius.
And no one's yelled at him.
No one blew his horn.
No, not.
You just wait until he gets in his car again and there.
Yeah.
But
what you just mentioned now, the fruit vendors, that was nice. When you go more inland and you stop at the villages where the small farmers, that cauliflower and beans and carrots and tomatoes.
Remember those beans they were about 2 feet long, huh?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And the morning market, on Sunday mornings early in Trubish.
Yeah.
Trulay, actually. We went
Trulay.
to Trulay.
I made a video of it, which is still popular.
And then you buy some eggs and bread and vegetables and for the whole week.
Yeah.
And then next Sunday you go again.
That's right.
And so much cheaper than the supermarkets. So much cheaper.
Okay, so let's talk about the size of the island. It's a small island.
It's small.
Yeah, it's only about 60 kilometers from top to bottom.
Yes.
And maybe 45 across.
Yes, it's small. It's very, very small.
Yeah. So you look on the map and you see that Flick and Flock is 40 kilometers away. But it could just as well have been a lifetime away, eh?
Yes. Because of the narrow roads, the traffic, the population, and even the dogs. There were so many dogs in the road.
Dogs in the road.
They say you can go 80 kilometers an hour. Yeah, pedestrians. But I think if you drive about 40 kilometers an hour.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah. Not nearly.
And in the mopeds, huh? The small mopeds.
Yeah, there are
35cc, and they go very slow.
Yes, and they're very noisy.
Yeah. And then when you get down to Flick and Flock, you would actually see goats on the side of the road.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And chickens.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and the goats know by 4 o'clock they're going back to their yard. That was Black River.
Black River. That was in Black River.
That was in Black River.
Not in Flick and Flock. Yeah. We built a relationship with people in Black River to sell our paintings.
The gallery there.
The gallery and also the furniture shop. And
yes.
It went very well.
Very well, yeah.
But going there took a whole day. Even though it was only 40 kilometers away, it took the whole day driving down to Black River and then visiting the galleries and then going back up again. What was the limitations of living on a small island like that?
There wasn't much limitations, I think, because we adapt. And we did.
We kept ourselves busy.
We kept ourselves busy, and you find, if you can't find something that you used to get in South Africa, you get a substitute for that.
Yeah, you did.
And
luckily we could travel to South Africa and still, it's only 4 hours of flying back to South Africa. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, but I never felt that I was deprived of anything there.
Yeah.
Because you just changed to another brand. That's all.
Yeah. But still, people talk about island fever. Island fever is when the island becomes small, when you start feeling that the island constricts you.
I think when that happened was in 2020 with the COVID outbreak. And you're not allowed to go out of your yard. You're not even allowed to go to the beach. And you can only go 2 days in a week for shopping.
I can't believe they closed the beaches.
They closed the beaches, and then you have to stand in a long row in the rows in the parking area, and that's alphabetical. So, and you cannot go on another day to the shop. You can just go on the days that's where your surname is in that alphabet. You can go to the shop. It was very strict. It was 9 months like that. And you know what I can still remember is when you look up in the sky, there's no aeroplanes. Nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Nothing.
Nobody was flying in or out.
No.
And what got to us...
No ships, nothing.
You remember what got to us is the fact that we couldn't visit South Africa during that time.
No.
Yeah, we were completely stranded.
Yeah, from March until that December. December was the first time, the 4th of December.
Yeah, and then there was like a mercy flight. They arranged a flight for people that wanted to get to South Africa. We put down our names, and we actually got seats on that plane. And then we went down to South Africa. And going down to South Africa at that time, we stayed for a while, and during that stay, we just discovered how much we missed our children.
Yeah, that was quite scary.
Remember our first grandchildren, we missed a year of their life.
Yes, we did.
A year of their life, of their development.
Because when they visited us in 2019 in December, the one baby was a month old and the other one was 3 months old. And we saw them again after their first birthday.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
No, that's heartbreaking to think about that.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. No, not again.
Not again.
Definitely not again.
Yeah, then I started dabbling in oil paints, and I wanted a good quality oil paint, and I would go down to the suppliers of paints, the shops that sell oil paints.
I can remember that. There was one in Belrose
And Kirpip.
and Kirpip, and the one at La City.
But I couldn't find my colors, and I couldn't find the
Yes.
brand that I wanted.
Yeah.
And so we traveled down to South Africa, and I had to buy canvas,
Yes.
thick canvas, because I struggled to get the right type of canvas.
Yes.
And I had to get most of my material down in South Africa and bring it back. That was a challenge.
It was always a challenge.
Always a challenge.
Yeah. Your art material.
The art material. And would you say it's more expensive to live in Mauritius than in South Africa?
Yes, I would say so. Even the house rent,
Yep.
that was expensive. And
Electricity is a bit more.
yes.
Yeah.
And the food, well, not the food in the supermarkets as such. Certain foods.
Certain foods. Huh?
Certain foods, like wine,
Gee, wine was expensive.
very expensive.
Yeah. We loved a bottle of red wine, but paying 3 times what you pay in South Africa just didn't work for us.
And even whiskey and the stronger alcohols. That was it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah, that's right.
But
meat was expensive as well.
meat was expensive as well because everything is imported.
I mean, I remember looking at a fillet steak, and gee whiz, you almost needed to sell your car to buy that piece of fillet. It was so expensive.
What I remember about mincemeat, when you buy mincemeat,
Oh,
it's
right.
like
They make it in a sausage.
polony sausage.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the form
with-
of that 400 grams polony sausage. Is in the form of the polony sausage.
Yeah, we weren't used to getting it in that shape.
No. That soup.
Yeah,
So that was the mincemeat.
yeah. And then
I
after 5 years, we decided to go back to South Africa. So what would you say was the tipping point?
Family.
Family.
Missing the culture, missing the family,
Yeah,
missing the friends,
yeah,
the support system
yeah.
in South Africa. Because the thing in Mauritius is you make friends, lovely friends, lovely friends. And
Beautiful
then
friends.
after a year or so, they just leave because
Yeah, they
their
leave.
contract are finished or whatever.
Yeah, that's.
And then
that's
they're
right.
just gone.
Then they're gone.
And then there's
A void.
a void. Then now you must make new friends
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
That was not nice.
But remember, we moved from True Beach to Grand Bay, and we stayed in that lovely big open house of Mr. Nakshedi.
Yes.
What a fine gentleman. Then we left for South Africa, but he did say that he was going to extend the house to a second story. And when we came back from South Africa, they've started building onto the house.
Yes.
And to us, that was another tipping point.
I think so. I think just the
There's dust, the noise.
the noise and the dust,
noise.
and not only that, they start building at the back of our
Do you
house.
remember, there was an open
And then
field
opposite, there was an open field, and they used to walk cows
there. Cows was
in the
grazing
morning.
there.
Or I still got pictures of that, of the cows, and we gave them some water, so they drank water there at our gate. And
I remember we went walking in the mornings. We loved walking in the mornings.
lovely.
And it was all pristine nature. And then they started with all those developments at the back of us.
They did.
One development after another.
Yes, yes.
And we felt smothered by it.
Yeah, and I mean those beautiful lush trees and sugarcane, and it was so beautiful. And now all of a sudden there's just building blocks.
Construction. And remember when they brought in those excavators, to break the
To
rock.
break the lava rock.
From the morning till the evening, I'm sure everybody who watches this video that stays in Mauritius will definitely know what we're talking about.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
And the sound is traveling far. Even there in Trubish, they were there, and in Cottage Road, they were was the breakers. And it's quite a distance from Trubish.
Yes.
But you hear it.
Yeah, as it travels.
The sound travels. Ta, 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 ta. You hear it from early in the morning.
But what I loved is in the morning, when you wake up and you hear these zebra doves, you hear the sound of the zebra doves.
I remember when, yes, in Trubish in the kitchen, then the kitchen zinc was in front of a window.
Yeah.
So I opened up the window and there was a bush behind our garden wall. It was lush, beautiful, and there you heard the
zebra doves
every morning. Oh, it was so lovely.
Yeah.
It was so lovely.
Yeah. I mean, when we go back to Mauritius to visit, that will be the first thing that will just bring back so many memories.
Good memories.
Yeah, is that sound of the zebra doves.
They made a nest in one of our bottle palms, remember?
You remember that, huh?
I do. And then our little cat, Arpie.
Yeah.
Arpie was so intrigued with a dove. You remember that?
Yeah. And what do you say about the mosquitoes?
No. I don't like them. They're horrible.
Oh, my goodness.
Pilots.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you, Mauritius has a huge mosquito problem. Can I call it a problem?
Everyone is complaining about the mosquitoes. It was lovely.
What we learned in Mauritius was the preciousness of time. Think of that one. The preciousness of time. There's an old saying that says that the water that flows under the bridge will never flow under the bridge again. Every minute of every day is special. And once that moment has passed, you can never get it back again. And we missed South Africa. We missed our culture. We missed our people. We missed our family. Would we recommend people to go and live in Mauritius?
Yes, I would.
For an experience?
Yes. And if they can afford it, yes.
If they can afford it. My advice is come for 6 months. You can get a 6 months tourist visa.
Yes.
And go and live in a local area. Rent a house there. Rent a car. Go to the supermarkets. Cook at home. Don't just sell up everything in South Africa. We kept our house and our business going. And in fact, we are so much richer for it. Having gone through this experience of living abroad. So it was a great experience for us. So why did we leave Mauritius? We left Mauritius not because we didn't sell any paintings. We were there 5 years, my goodness. I sold hundreds of paintings.
We left Mauritius because of our family.
Because of our family.
We missed them a lot.
We missed them a lot. Yeah, that's why we left Mauritius. Mauritius holds special memories in our heart. Will we ever go back there and live there again?
For short periods, yes.
For short periods.
Not for 5 years.
Not for 5 years.
No.
I think we've had our stunt of living overseas. We're very happy in South Africa, regardless of the political situation here.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
we live
matter.
above it.
We live above it. We live above it. South Africa is a wonderful place to live.
It is. Oh, Mauritius is a great island.
It's a great island.
Yeah.
Lovely people.
A very diverse island.
A diverse island.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.